competition, trying to hit those upper echelons, trying to get forward and move through, and only about 3 games left. Match 4, so important. There they are, the players from that org, chilling side by side, a lot of them represented here today.
You know what, low-key, yeah, it's great to have that support.
Yeah.
Right? But a different angle is like, it must just be you're sitting there waiting for the game.
Boss is
and
right.
your boss is proper cheering you on like, oh my goodness, yeah, you better hope you got your drop map on point. You got to hope you get, I can't speak English, you better hope you get good loot, right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this has to be the game of your life if you're hearing them chants.
You got 6 chances, now there's just 3 more left, so confidence still at an all-time high from everyone supporting. And smiles on a lot of the players' faces. You know, by this time, in most lands that we've seen so far, it's been lots of sad faces, focused faces, but between games, there's a lot of happiness between every single duel box.
You know, there are some sad faces, we just ain't showing them. we'll just show the people smiling and happy, you know. We don't want to see no sad faces today.
No. Everyone's having a good time. It's so nice.
No, but look, if you are a player who maybe, you know, going into game 4, it's just not been the tournament, it's been a sad face type of tournament, you have to turn things around. You can't allow that sad face to sort of sit there and permeate through the rest of the last 3 games. Like, you have to turn that frown upside down, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and the opportunities are certainly there to do that. I think Zero Build's a mode where we've seen historically big turnarounds in tournaments, especially, you know, we saw it here last year, you know, when there was like Lucian standing like they were going to take away the Zero Build competition completely. Anderson Pink are right there to sneak up and win the whole thing. So it's definitely possible here.
One thing that's a constant in Fortnite a lot of the time is how the map actually looks. People don't actually talk about maps too much in Battle Royales and how things change from game to game, because a lot of the times abilities are a constant in other games, and this one, building is a constant. You can adapt to your situation. In Zero Build, if you're in the south side and the next game is over at Bastion, you're playing a whole different map to adapt to. That's one of the ways that Ospain came back and were able to take it away from Lucian Center last year. This time, in this game, if we're not going towards Mega City Kenjutsu, if we're not at Frenzy Fields, brand new game for everyone to play. You could be a god at it. So we have to see exactly who will step up to the throne. Same bus from the first 2 games though, so who knows what goes down.
Yeah, similar bus, right? Similar bus in terms of, you know, sort of going from north to south and that sort of axis. We'll see whether or not that impacts much in terms of the off-spawn fights we've been seeing, right? Of course, we've been following a couple of those throughout the day. And if you are a player who isn't contested, it's sort of same old for the early game.
Breakwater now taking over. The south side split also being activated. Meanwhile, still just 1 duo over at Kenjutsu. And a few others just kind of splattered over around the map. Brutal Bastion, still a 50-50. Lonely Labs will be a late landing as well. There's one person that's just complete 360ing and waiting to land on the north side. That was funny to watch if you saw that arrow, but we're tuning into the same fight over at Mega City over and over again. This time, lots more duels are actually landing inside towards the buildings, but it's LLJFT, Real Pro. They're trying to lock things down.
I think we saw right from Basil Fire, NOG, that last game they got caught out of spawn, right? It sort of cost them. I've seen all sorts of things. Yeah, look, never. I said I didn't want to. Never give up until you do give up.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Phoenix and no, I wouldn't be too upset by that. I guess I'll take it.
They got space to work with now. They got time.
No complaints from those guys.
Vacation. No one's there.
And they got a zone.
Okay, that's what we like to see.
Yeah, not too shabby in game 4 here.
Meanwhile, this is going to be an absolute, you know, stare-down contest between duos. Tough, but you got to play the in and out of the windows game. You got to make sure you know what's going down around you.
Oh my god, I cannot believe my eyes. They are not fighting at Mega City. What is going on? I feel like every game we've watched, there's at least one early fight at Mega City. Everyone's just peaceful right now. What's happened? What's changed?
It's game 4. The game 4 magic. Not even available in stores. You got to be there to see it.
Wow.
Exclusive drop. Am I seeing this correctly too? Am I seeing this? Yeah, Bastion again, 50-50. It's confirmed. RVRX The other team, they're looking to go again.
Locked in, and I think what we saw from them last game is that they were a bit hesitant in their approach, right? They almost, I don't want to say let them bully them, right? But they allowed Smicky and Satam to have a lot more space, right? They allowed them to control the POI, and we see that's leading to them sort of being in first place. And I'd love them in this game to be a bit more aggressive, not give it up too easy. Again though, another game where Smicky's able to just claim the flag, capture the flag.
For free?
For free.
For free?
For absolutely free.
Fahad and PKS, the third Fahad playing today. Just noted that down too.
Shout out to all the Fahads.
It's low Fahad this time.
Who will be the superior Fahad?
Who will be the hero?
Look, those guys, they started off the day hot, and I think it's common sometimes to see a team really impress, really sort of come out of the gates flying, and then they start to cool off. We saw the frustration when they went down last game. They have to just bounce back. They can't allow it to ruin their momentum. Of course, this is a different Fahad, right? The Falcon Fahad playing with Yonks, they had a decent game where they made it quite deep towards the end, but it was in those sort of final moments where things sort of slipped out of their hands, slipped away from them. In terms of loot and what they have available to them, things are certainly looking good this game. And so we'll see a similar approach where they're going to be sitting in these trees here, looking to take tags at players all around them, see if they can catch any players out. And a strategy that's clearly been working for them.
We're so strong when they're near the sky. Birds of prey, you know? Soon as they just touched down for a little bit of a rest, that's where things went wrong. I was talking about difference in zone as well. We got a little bit of a North Pole here, so brand new portions of the map to play on towards endgame. A lot of the time with how hilly things are, with the glaciers in the way possibly as well, you'll have games prolong themselves. In that last game, everything was so flat. We ended like 9 zones.
Yeah, I think one of the big aspects of sort of zero build is we often see players using bushes, right, and camping in them, hiding in them. It's a big cover item. If the game finishes towards that northwest, there's like no bushes on that side of the map, like in that sort of like desert-y area. Well, it's not really a desert, but you know what I'm saying. It's just
tundra.
Yeah, the tundra. Yeah, the tundra. Yeah.
Tundra's a
yeah,
frozen
yeah.
desert.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Geography and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no bushes there.
Not
so you know, cover becomes very, very scarce, and it makes the end games just that bit harder, right? In terms of when we're talking about room for error and not having much space to work with.
Make sure you make the right decisions at that point as well. Even less room for mistakes. Smicky, Satam, very impressive that they have like a contested drop slot, only half the stuff available at Bastion. Yet they lead the lobby overall, putting the leader in a leaderboard. And you can see the situation around them right now. Draftel, who was so good at third partying, Leo, and Kirito, who've been so good at starting fights, and then Salva coming up from the bottom side, who I think, I'm just gonna say it, had the most fights involved in the last game. You wanna search that stat? You can go watch that game back. I'll confidently say most fights involved in between minutes like 10 and 20.
You would not be shy or cast without some fake stats.
Real stats, man. There was one time I had real stats, I was challenged, and it was amazing. Best feeling ever. But it's real stats all the time, so why am I even so happy?
Okay, well, I do actually agree with the sentiment. I don't know about the stat, but with the sentiment, those guys are super aggressive. They're trying to take every fight and oftentimes winning every fight. So you definitely want to watch out for them wherever you are. And it's good to see OGX, FV, and Basil Fire actually get out of Mega City alive. Last game, they couldn't quite say that. Went down rather early. And so a bit of a redemption arc for these guys as they look to make their climb up the standings.
Casper and Zayak up towards the same spots as well. They were unfortunately targeted by a Cybertron cannon. Didn't even get to respond to some of the people who were taking shots at them in the last game. This time though, way up on a hill instead of just between a quarry of rocks. They're able to have a little bit more control and safety in their spot. That zone will lock in just a second. Still a few duos and solos straggling outside, and they'll have to make a big push over once again towards Stilts. Creaky, and Brutal. I mean, lobby leaders having home zone, kind of crazy. Full control of the lobby right now as multiple teams are caught between sight lines. Tic-tac-toe, 3 X's marks the spot, and they get crossed out.
Wow. And that's Rapid and QND. That's a top team in this lobby, a top team in this region. A team a lot of people were expecting to maybe even easily qualify through, and it's Faisal really putting in the work. He's got to get a revive now, but a revive's not going to come through. We always talk about the third parties. Oh my goodness. Absolutely lasered out of the game. And he actually did get a revive just at the last second, but he's now taken out. And that leaves Wazi all alone with not much HP, just trying to stay alive in the game.
That's tough. You know, the game plan for LLJFT is to get that early elim, but in the process of actually pushing this bunker, pushing for this fight, it's FKS from the backside. And Balor, who are looking for more shots, actually take out Real Pro. And now FKS and Balor are going to look for finishing this fight too, looking for that elim on LLJFT. They know he's a solo. And when they left a solo over as well, so they can contain him in this rotation, it'd be huge if they just landed one of these shots from the ERR. Not going to connect just yet. Bunker stop for now. They'll still control that space. Crucial space to control from the south side. We know there's at least 2 duos coming through from the bottom. Balor and FKS might be the people who see them first.
Yeah, they'll be hoping they don't. Right? Of course, Bloomer and Lardo on our screens here. Bloomer biting his nails. I always ask him why he does it. He's got to stop. It's a bad habit. He does it when he's nervous, you know, when he's in the zone, when things are intense.
Oh, man.
And I can't blame him. Wazi eventually getting taken out there. FKS and Balor doing the business, getting the job done. And that was always going to be a tough spot for Wazi to be in, especially with the main firepower in the team, really, and Faisal in these past couple of games being taken down. The winners of the last game here on our screens, Meow and Artur, and they might just get caught up by Stranger if they're not careful here. He's camping in the zone behind them.
Just waiting. He can make a little bit more out of this game because I know duo partner's probably down. Meanwhile, Phantom, Kai, Hero, Fahad, and Yonks all in the same spot. Titans beside each other in 3 different game plans. One on full rotation, cars through the jungle. Others shadows in the night. And then finally, Yonks towards the sun. And the cars have broken down for now.
Oh no.
Huh?
Occupational hazard, that one.
All good. Nima's fine. So many people actually going for this dead side rotation. They're making the dead side alive.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because it's not as clear cut, right? We often see a lot of the best teams in build mode playing for dead side and whatnot, and it doesn't actually directly translate to being as effective in zero build, right? It's not as simple as go to dead side, win game. But it's definitely a playstyle that can be effective, that can work. Phantom here now caught in the zone, and of course, I believe Kai's down, so it's just a bit awkward for him to sort of move through here, especially with FHD waiting up above.
Bloomy expected maybe some people to be here, but after getting that ping from the flare gun, I don't think he expected this. 3 different duos beside him.
Oh, Lardo went down as well.
Yeah.
That leaves Bloomy all alone.
It's going to be tough. We know his vehicle's already half HP down and in a tough spot.
And they had a really good game in game 3, right? Made it really deep all the way towards the end. And it pushed them into the top 6. And so it's going to be a really tough job for Bloomy to keep them there. Wolf is going to look to try and confirm this elimination. He'll clean that one up.
The confidence on the other side instead of making it a 2v1. They know that Bloomy's hurt. Down towards the left, he's going to go out with a one big bang.
Tough.
Revenge.
Oh, do they know?
Quietly.
Do they know? It seems like they do not. Bloomy lives on.
Bloomy has no enemies.
Wow.
A peaceful man.
A wise man is Bloomy. Because if it's me, I'm going out of the bang. I'm just assuming my chances are done, and I'm going out with a bang. But he says, no. I'm going to stay calm. They walk right past him, and
hold up.
It's not looking good. It's not looking good. They come back, and they're going to hear him. They know he's somewhere here. He's gotten a reboot card, actually, and he's like, no way. No way yet. Okay, I was going to say, there's no way they just lose him again. He tried his best.
Fool me one time, shame on you, you know?
Yeah.
You fooled, you can't get fooled again. Wolf is an Epic Malik. Hunting rate, 100%. Still going in. Artor, Meow. Black Beetle challenge, looking good.
Yeah, they were also sort of just sitting in the zone there, right? So they would have heard all of that going on, but like you said, Black Beetle challenge, they're just sitting there waiting, playing the zone. And that's what we see a lot of the best teams actually doing, a lot of the zero build, right? I think you'll probably see a lot more of it tomorrow, once tomorrow's competition starts, right?
Yeah.
With all the players who qualified and were invited there. And it looks like Artur, adopting that, right? So clearly clued in and understands how they want to play the game. And it's working for them after that win.
Absolutely. Tempering kind of their own expectations of the game. This is where now hiding kind of becomes an art. And just being behind cover as well is something that should not just be looked over. LOL, JFT, not like this. Crucial seconds lost off that fall damage, and you can see a med miss getting kind of baited. He's found a few fruits to be able to keep his run going, but way back in the jungle is going to be tough. Yeah, we saw in that last game, if you slip past your cover, your bunker, even for like a millisecond, your HP bar is gone. And it wasn't even the cannons.
Yeah.
It's just the people wanting to shoot something.
Yeah. That, the combination of cannons and flare guns as well, like, again, when we'd say the margins are fine, it's easy to be punished, we are not exaggerating. It's tough. Here's Wolfies. Wolfies.
That's going to be a hard habit to break.
I'm so used to just saying Wolfies. Wolfies putting on the show like Wolfies would do, you'd think. So, picking up both her limbs there. Mansour and Adapter.
Every time. I mean, in the last game, they were in the same bush for 17 minutes. The zone pulling into them. This time, keeping it low key, keeping out of the sights of LLJFT. Hero Fahad, I mean, they were calm before, but I like the way they kind of play this early to late game. Earlier on, kind of chilling a bit out more, and then after that, slowly rising up in notoriety throughout the entire map and the positions they take, in the fights they want to go for. And we saw the mistake they made last time, one too many fights. Or just a little bit too long at one of these fights, even third partying. It was a perfect third party. After that, tried to move, Fahad went down. Haven't even seen that happen before. So this time, keeping it low-key, waiting till zone 8-9, going for the win. They're the best at that right now.
And the thing that makes them so effective is they're so great at following each other.
Yeah.
Very underrated skill. You see so many teams in this lobby get split up at different moments, right? Maybe they impulse grenade and, one player goes a couple boxes away, but these guys on each other at all times.
This time they can't stay that low-key. They will literally have to make so much noise moving to the throne, moving to where first place is right now. Brutal Bastion has the whole zone. If you landed here and you're in first place, this is the best thing you could ask for. Not really any surge in this lobby at all. Everyone's just kind of chilling. These guys spawned in 11 in first place, and in terms of 6th, 7th zone, it's right over their POI. Best case scenario possible. So many ravines to be able to make it into this point as well. Free placement for the first place team. This is going to be tough for everyone else around. Flare right into the metal base. Through the windows and the walls. Bullets dropping down the halls. Right now, it's just tough. Eisen going down. Zayad left alone. FKS on another hunt again. The man doesn't stop. Mansour Adapter finally not being PNGs or JPEGs. They're moving. They're getting into the zone. They have to get active.
MP4s. Movement.
Yeah.
Some action. But when will their movie end? They have to get into zone eventually.
I'm Sherry too. I mean, just left by himself right now. It's going to be tough. But Smicky and Satam, I mean, these guys got the flag, own the Bastion, and have not moved. A whole game sitting there just getting as much placement as they can. Qualifier, OGX have traveled to different seasons, different games, have switched their peripherals, went to the bathroom. They've done so much. We've done all around the map. Completely different game for them, and they're still moving in. One Elam so far. And now finally people have to move off that Bastion though, towards that top left side. Tough though, you can't see past these glaciers. It's a risk every single turn. Valor though, not stopping, not going down.
How aggressive Valor is.
Yeah. These guys have hunted so many people. 5 eliminations in total. Half of them aren't even their squads. Third parties half the time. It's huge.
Literally just bulldozing through every single team that gets in their way. So effective as well. Just that confidence, they exude it.
No build construction.
Just, yeah. FKS battle. So impressive here, and I think you're gonna see, even if they don't end up having sort of the deep run in this game, right? There's still so many players left in the lobby. These points are gonna start to add up. These are limb points for sure. So
they're watching everyone succumb to pressure right now, but they were born here, molded in the Bastion. People like Valor and FKS, I mean, they just adapted it, right? They're already men when they stepped in. These guys were boys over towards the early game. In the drop spot, cannon close range is gonna hurt if you try to shoot that so closely. Option still taken. Spy now low HP. Almost gone, trying to go above and over. FKS does make it through. Him and Valor still full HP, taking on Qualifier head to head. Who wins that one is the question. No one's gone down, so somehow both players survived. Next fight though, finally finding Spy. Kakarot also going down. Qualifier is the one to take on FKS. First time we've seen the aggression actually stop now. Draft not being able to make it through so many duos should tell you how tough this zone is. This man is so good at actually navigating these zones. Dexify will be able to pick up a few eliminations, but his dual partner will be down. Mansour Adapter having to make some noise. Not being able to play it low key either. This is just absolute chaos.
the action's not gonna end either. Look at where this zone is. We're used to these flatland environments where players can hide, move around comfortably. But when you're trying to go up and down the hill, it is so difficult, and you're just seeing how hard it is. If you aren't in a bunker, it's sort of just rats for you. What options do you have? Where can you go? Where can you move? And if you are in a bunker down beneath the hill, you are at the mercy of everybody above you, just raining down fire on top of your head.
One more hill to control and rain over, and Bedor does not miss. Wow. Shot after shot after shot. The damage is in. The bunkers are gone. Abdul has to move forward. It's not going to be enough. Triple Pod also in that same box. He's going to try to go for the third party, try to have something to save both players in there. Second place, cut down in half.
There's like 4 different players running into that bunker. Everybody trying to find some sort of safety, but you are never safe in this endgame. And now you see Grave Battle, they want to run into the action. They want to get involved themselves, and that's what they'll do. Smicky moving through, picks up 1. And he has a lot more to do as well.
Stuck in a half bunker. Anyone can slide it at any moment. That's first place we're watching right now. Trying to hold on to their spot. JK Ree, Codex fighting over, shooting at Grev and Bedor. Not going to see much just yet. But every single duel's going to have to move in here. There's barely any cover.
No space. Nothing to work with. Well, actually, I should say infinite space, right?
Oh, there is a mountain on one side. The next zone, I think, actually, if you look at the mini-map, there's nothing. There's actually nothing. It's just flat land. So this is where the game might just end. Cal Gamer, NM7, moving side by side. One of the duos that might just have a little bit of shield, and Satam's back. Ooh. He's back, he's ready to go. And he's got everything cooking for him.
Where'd they go in?
What's happening here?
Where on earth are they going? Just imposing themselves into one bunker. The other players have left already. And now they're looking for another one.
Bunker after bunker, shockwave after shockwave. You can't really keep track of anything. Who's a teammate, who's an enemy? Cal Gamer and M7 still side by side. Cybertron Cannon looking for its big shot. Hero on the right too. Stops Cal Gamer in his tracks. It's an aim battle. And Hero is the one that falls this time on the backside. Satam in the zone. It's all just him now. Lots of loot in front. Bador, the final filter, taking out so many different players. Just one left inside that tree line. Ice cold, frozen down and stopped in his tracks. It's Grev and Bador with Game 4's victory.
7 eliminations along the way, and this was a team that was so proactive in taking the right positions to punish everybody else in the lobby, and it pays absolute dividends. What a game from that duo.
Game 1 and 2 a little bit simmery. In 3 they tried to be invisible. This time we could see them win that game. Full control, nice movement, and they're still talking tactics on screen. You love to see it from these two.
We could see them, we could hear them, the lobby could feel them, right? They were taking shots at everybody, it felt like, and even if they weren't connecting and getting eliminations, just that pressure that's applied that makes it so awkward for anyone trying to make some sort of movement in the lobby was absolutely immense. A really impressive game, and a game that I think will show a lot of players sort of how they have to start moving in these end games, right? You have to be proactive, you have to be aggressive.
Yeah, I can see the difference in how the game's played too on a map like that. Inside the frozen portions of the game of Fortnite, the northeast side, it's a very different game. You have to maintain and control your resources. If you have nothing left, there is no room to hide behind.
Yeah, big ups to Bador and Grev who picked that game up. And still plenty of work to do for them to make sure they secure themselves in that top 6, right? The job is not finished. We still have 2 more games to go. But that definitely is the kind of game that will put them in a very good spot going into those last 2.
Yeah, lobby squeezer, 100%. I mean, the big thing too to realize, a lot of the top players down in top 10, down in kind of top 15, not really getting too many points. So who really controls the Middle East qualifiers? That's the big question.
Yeah, it's good to see all the competitors, right? Players getting up to get their last little bathroom break in, right? Before they head into the last couple of games. A couple different players talking tactics as well, right? Nice to see. Brilliantly done from all those competitors. We'll see them back very, very soon. Again, we have 2 more games coming up for you